There's the green. The race is on. They're off and running again.
Pitting yourself against the kind of competition we saw today and winning means you've really got the guts and nerve and skill that are the mark of a true champ. But in a matter of seconds only, they'll have him back in the race. And believe me, in a red-hot contest like this, seconds are important.
Sure enough, Lorenzen's back in front.
Richard Petty takes the checkered flag going away.
Bill Elliott is going toward immortality.
20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will win the Daytona 500.
It still stands today, man against man, with the common denominator, the machine. Not just any machine, not just any driver, the very best the sport has to offer.
Settle in, boys. All right, guys, let's be on our toes all day.
If success were easy, then everyone would be successful.
Quitting's the only thing that's easy. Because when you're in a place where there doesn't seem to be any way out.
The easy thing to do is not press forward, to not have the guts to accept whatever the challenge is.
But the hard thing to do is survive.
To push past the fatigue and the fear.
Realizing that if you survive, if you battle and struggle and simply refuse to give in, you'll look at the whole ride in a different way.
To get all the way to the top of the mountain.
It takes everything you've got.
And not a single ounce less.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
So you never back down.
You never give up
You never relent.
till the day is won.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back into the UTLR Live Studios for another exciting round of racing here with Under the Lights Racing. I am some Wild Guy 17, once again joined in the booth by UTLR Storm, and we've also decided to go ahead and make the trek out here from Homestead to Las Vegas, as we are here with the Xfinity Series for their 150-mile race here tonight. 100 laps around Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So everything should be on times 2 with the low draft package tonight. So should be a little bit of a challenge for the 18 drivers that we have here on track. But Alex, it's been a couple days, a couple of interesting 48-hour runs. I will leave it at that.
Yes, indeed. It's been a quite an interesting last 48 hours from us having to travel. It's been hectic on the traveling, going from Homestead down in Miami and having to go all the way up to the desert to bake our butts off here in Sin City. But we're live here in the booth in a comfortable air conditioned environment for this great race we're going to be having this evening with the Xfinity Series. We got to have some fun behind the wheel last night in the Cup cars. And now we get to come up in the booth and call the shots for y'all to watch these Xfinity drivers go back to action here in week 3 of season 6.
Yep, the Las Vegas 150 is what we're officially calling this one. So if you can't figure out how that works in a game, take 300 divided by 2, and that's how you get to your lovely 150 there. So I appreciate those that are tuning in. I told you I'm on one today, man. It
Hey, I
has
love
been a
it.
little bit of it. This travel lag is definitely something, I'll tell you that much. So. But we should be getting the drivers up in a lobby here in just a moment. Quick shout out to the Xbox One esports racing community for covering the league racings for championships throughout all of the Xbox servers and being our sponsor for this season. So Rock NASCAR, he says best of luck to all the drivers tonight. Definitely. So, and a little bit of a recap last night with that a lot of interesting calls were made by a few different drivers, but in the end, we had our first repeat winner of the season.
Yeah, Tomato came out and pretty much showed the field up, but not too terribly. There was a lot of wild racing going on towards the back of the field, but we did have an excellent race going on up front. The continuous use of the outside lane played a huge role into who would drive away. We didn't have anybody really take a big lead. It was maybe a few Carlings at that. Most of the time, they were staying within a second or two of each other, and they're quickly reeling them back in, working that high side last night. So that high side was working. In the inside lane, I mean, at one point we were too deep, side by side for about 3 or 4 rows. So about 8 drivers piled up on top of each other, door to door, a few three wide action going on. Some people hugging the outside Kyle Larson line, and it was a wild one. Very tame in stage 1 and 2, and some things got carried away in stage 3, but at the end, Tomato was able to edge Mole for the win and get it done. So it was a great race for the Cup guys.
It was a very entertaining race for sure, and obviously one of the big differences, one obviously the aero difference between the Gen 7 Cup cars and Xfinity cars here tonight, but also the fact that we are going to be on the low draft package. So there's a potential that we may not be able to see cars reeling in each other as well as they did last night. But with that, we've got 18 drivers making the show tonight. So let's go ahead and introduce you to them from 18 to 1. Starting on the outside of row number 9 in the number 8 machine will be Red Hawk. Starting on the inside of row number 9 in the number 10 machine in a sub role will be UTLR Kinney. Starting on the outside of row number 8 in the 54 machine will be Drake 12, and on the inside of row number 8 in the 4 machine will be R Denny 99. On the outside of row number 7 in the number 93 machine, we have Tater Tot, and on the inside of row number 7 in the 08 machine is Here Comes Mr. J. On the outside of row number 6 in the number 22 machine will be Flash, and on the inside of row number 6 in the number 44 machine will be SP. Your top 10 look like this. Starting on the outside of row number 5 in the number 20 machine will be Load Broke, and on the inside of row number 9, or row number 5, starting ninth in the number 6 machine will be Hack. Starting on the outside of row number 4 in the 07 machine will be CCDN Morton, but you will hear us call him HD this evening. And on the inside of row number 4 in the number 1 machine will be LRS. Starting on the outside of row number 3 in the 99 machine will be One Bad. And starting on the inside of row number 3 in the number 68 machine will be Dusty Stud. On the outside of row number 2 in the number 38 machine will be Deport Eddie. And starting on the inside of row number 2 will be in the 98 machine NFS Demon 9. And your front row Starting on the outside in the number 16 machine, I believe he's making his first start of the season so far, will be B-Ball TV 27. You'll probably hear us just call him B-Ball. And starting on the pole, I can't really say I'm surprised by who's here. Our only winner so far this season, laying down a lap time of 31.030 in the number 19 machine of Suspect Camo. So
Yeah,
that's
and
going to be your 8.
what a
Go
lineup we
ahead.
do. No, what a lineup we do have. So like you said, Suspect winning so far this season. A lot of drivers are kind of putting him off tonight. Some drivers are saying that he's not going to be as much of a threat as he normally would be. Is he still going to be fast? Yes. Is he still going to probably lead some laps and be up front in the lead? Yes. But when it comes down to it, we don't expect him to be the winner of tonight. So I don't know how it's going to play a role, but keep in mind this low draft tonight is going to be playing a different role. Last night in the Cup Series, obviously, different car, but we were on normal draft. And so tonight at Las Vegas, yes, you do have the outside to use, but how do you think that low draft would come into play?
It's going to be very interesting to see. Obviously, we saw with some of the drivers last night in the Cup Series, especially on restarts, they're able to break away, start really building up a small amount of a gap there. But usually by about 10 laps in, you usually saw it become a 7 to an 8 car pack, about 2-second gap, and then the rest of the field. Where tonight with the low draft package, it's going to be one of those you're going to have to really be on somebody's back bumper to truly catch up to them here tonight. And I also think that I know last night we had a little bit of highline work. I think that's going to work through 2 and 4. Obviously, try to get up as close to the wall as you can, almost tank slap the back of your car. But otherwise, I could really see that low line trying to break away early and often here when we get to the corners.
Yeah,
Toby
and
Welsh coming in.
oh,
Or sorry,
no,
I
go
was just
ahead.
gonna say I've got the stream chat up real quick,
That's what I
so
was
I
about to
figure we got a
say.
couple of minutes. So Toby Welsh coming through saying good luck to everybody. And Suspect Camo, our pole sitter. I don't know if this is considered calling your shot, but he says, and I quote, "Does that mean I am the underdog? LOL." Um, I don't know if we can call you an underdog anymore, sir. You've
I don't think
won
so.
the 2 races so far this season, but obviously he is going for a three-peat here tonight at Las Vegas. Again, 23 race season, so a little bit longer of a season compared to the trucks, and obviously a little bit shorter than the Cup Series guys. But otherwise, yeah, no, I believe we've got all 18 drivers in the Discord. I believe at this point we are just waiting to get everything squared away at this point in time.
Well, in that case, I do feel like it's time for some prayer ceremonies as we take a minute to respect our country and everybody who is involved. I know that we may have one guy tuning in. He is a part of our league. He is a active military and Army veteran right now. So thank you to everybody who's out there serving our country, especially overseas right now, and what our country is doing battle with. We are extremely grateful for the lives we get to live every single day. And with that, we're going to take a few minutes and respect our country and respect our brothers up north in Canada, as well as we have a lot of racers from that country that race with us across the Xbox One community. So join me in a few minutes, guys, and we'll be right back for the rest of pre-race action.
So I don't know what it is about that Canadian anthem, but anyways, we are back after both the anthems have officially wrapped up. Again, welcome into the TLR live studios. Once again, some Wild Guys 17 on the ones and twos with UTLR Storm as my color commentator. Once again, as we will be every Tuesday and Thursday night for the UTLR racing season, barring any major scheduling issues. 18 drivers are. What the heck was that? Okay, I was not ready for that. This man coming out of here with
Perfect
the ooh,
timing.
ooh, ooh, like, my God, man. Sounds like this man's got like a voice box or one of those soundboard things over there. I tell you what. So, but regardless,
I can pull it
18
out.
drivers. Oh Lord.
Go ahead.
We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out. So, no, I was just gonna say, if you're just joining us, 18 drivers all making the show here tonight. From first all the way back to 18th was less than half a second. So, could be a very tightly packed race, but it could be a race where we see a couple drivers kind of break away here. So, if you have to have a prediction, and you can't pick suspect because we know that he's still listening and he's going to take everything saltily here. Which other driver would you expect to potentially see up there towards the front?
Man. Let's see. I think I have to go with suspect. No. No, suspect, sorry, you ain't winning tonight. I think honestly it's been a toss up for me. I've been kind of looking at the stats and looking at how the races have been. And Dusty Stud, who was almost already Daytona winner, he showed a lot of speed and he's shown a lot of speed early on. Look for him to be a contender tonight as we go on throughout the race. He's starting up towards the front. Another guy starting up towards the front. And like you said, making his league and series debut, B-Ball TV. He showed a lot of speed in his preseason testing. He, whenever I told him what suspect's lap time was, he's like, "Geez, I ain't touching that." But he came decently close in speed, and so I think if B-Ball can get it going, he's got a good chance of staying up there with suspect. Unfortunately, Ducky is not racing tonight. He's gonna be watching. He might be watching right now. I'm not sure. But he could be a good, if he was racing, he'd be a good threat. But like I said, he's not racing. So as far as coming from the back, though, I watch out for Flash down there in 12th. Watch for him to be a possible threat. He's good. He's mile and a halves. As long as he can stay out of the wrecks and play wreck avoidance, then he'll be good. But this series has been pretty great at no cautions. So we should have a pretty green race.
Yeah. It'll be fun to see for sure if I had to take two, and this is no bias because they're my guys in the Cup Series as well, but they showed really good promise last night, and they're always a threat no matter whenever series they get into a car. They always seem to be towards the front. I've got to say that LRS and SP will find a way to get up easily top 5 here tonight as well.
Yeah, SP tends to have a good car here. Not even going to sugarcoat it. I think he'll have a great shot. And he's always working with LRS. So, yeah, I would not count them out. And one bad, man, that dude likes to make an appearance. So, he's also a Cup Series driver. And whenever the time is possible, he will make his move and he will make his statement. Granted, last night we did not get to see him in the Cup cars because he messaged me this morning, or he called me this morning, said that he woke up this morning to find out that his son had internet issues and restarted the entire internet in the house. And the wife told him that this morning. He's like, "Do what?" He's like, "Well, yeah, the son had to restart the internet." He's like, "What time was this about? About 9 o'clock?" She's like, "Yeah, about." He's like, "You made me miss a race." With a few extra words I won't say thrown into that mix, but yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
We're not. I was going to say we're not trying to catch that McAfee FCC slander out here tonight. So I was going to say if I could have had a scoreboard like that.
We're going to catch the Microsoft.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill Gates is gonna snipe us out of nowhere and say, that's too many F words. Here, take them down. All right, here we go. So I was gonna say, yeah, Radioactive last night got very interesting very quickly. I don't expect tonight's Radioactive to be quite as, shall we say, lively tonight as it was last night. So, but
I will
either way,
say...
we should be getting.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Nope. Oh, I was just gonna say we should be getting the invite here any moment, as it does seem that all 18 drivers have made the field. The grid should be set, so we should be getting ready to go here in just a couple moments for you guys. So appreciate everybody tuning in.
Yeah, I said Luca was restarting his Xbox real quick. He was getting no invites, so might be just a couple extra minutes, but I'm glad we found a way to not have game audio in the background. It's called just don't have the game pulled up. So easy fix. But
Yeah.
if you are tuning in to us and been paying attention to us on Facebook, on the community chats, wherever you may follow us, of course, one day, and we're hoping whenever iRacing decides to come out with the newest NASCAR game that we can provide y'all with some UTLR Radioactive, because everybody would love a good Radioactive from a league. I think every league would be very interesting, and would love to hear every league out there. But you know what? I think we're going to be one of the first ones to make a Radioactive. I know there's Radioactives out there for iRacing, that they make some, but I think we're going to be trying to be one of the first ones to make it on console, make it happen. But yeah, if y'all don't mind going and following us on all of our socials, you can find us on UTLR 2020 on Twitter. We have recently updated our Instagram account so that UTLR 2020 is not available to us right now. It is actually Under the Lights Racing, which is all one word. You can find us on there on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook at Under the Lights Racing. You can find us on UTLR Live on Facebook. You can find us right here, of course, UTLR Live underscore live on Twitch, no brainer. And then also UTLR 2020, or however else you want to look it up, either at UTLR 2020 or Under the Lights Racing on TikTok. Yes, you heard me right. We now have a TikTok account, creating some of our highlights or radioactive moments, and we post them into our TikTok page. So if you are young and hip, go follow us there and check us out.
Young and hip. All right. Is that the terminology that we're going to be using here tonight? All right.
Like it.
These youngins are taking the track.
These young and hip drivers are taking the track, and here comes old hipster SP into the mix.
Oh, Lord, help us. Our non-drivers are now making their way to their cars. Oh, Lord.
Inside joke.
Should be a good time.
Inside joke.
Yep. Yeah, no, we appreciate all of our drivers, no matter which series they're in. So, all right. Should I attempt another texting while driving? Man, this dude is trying to become the Brad Keselowski of our league.
I'm about to go and rename. I don't rename people's gamer tags in our group chat, but I'm about to go rename your chat or your name to freaking Brad Keselowski, and nobody's going to know until they look at the actual Twitch chat.
Damn. No, it's all in good fun.
I just got the invite for the race.
Alright, so I should be getting that invite here on my side here in just a moment.
Suspect say, LOL, I'll probably kill the wall.
Oh, Lord. Do it from pit lane. Alright. So, yep, we have confirmation that all 18 drivers have made the field here. The Boyd Gaming 300. Gotta love how some of these names come to be, considering I have never even heard of Boyd Gaming before, but hey, kudos to them. But we're still gonna call it the Las Vegas 150 because, well, we don't have any actual corporate sponsorships. But if you know somebody that could get us in touch with people that could get us corporate sponsorships,
We would talk. We would definitely talk.
yeah. Let's have some communications. So, although one thing that I did just think about here, and I think it's fitting because we are racing here at Vegas, when I originally developed the name for this league, being Under the Lights Racing, how it's taken off and everything, I am still shocked that we haven't just decided to do all of our races truly at night to be quote unquote under the lights. So
Yeah.
I don't know, the admins that be need to throw that together or what exactly is going on, but I want to start a petition for that. Let's get this truly back under the lights here.
I love it. Maybe one day. In the truck series, you'll never have to worry about a day race happening in your entire lifespan. But as we get ready for the drop of the green flag here, Ian, I'll let you take it away.
Yep, we got Suspect Camo leading the field to green as they're all lined up, ready to go, entering the Gecko restart zone, but we're going to call it the official start zone. Just kidding, they're going at the line, and the Las Vegas 150 is officially underway from Sin City. Looks like everybody got out to a pretty solid jump there as we see the 07 already diving down, making it 3 wide, going through 1, and bouncing off of Hack already.
One bad, making it 3 wide, and Demon on the back bumper of Suspect. Demon is also a really good threat here in Las Vegas. We're going to see how he performs here early on in that number 98.
Looks like Suspect is going to try to start drifting up the track, but Demon definitely has the low side as we're going to come to the charity stripe now, and Demon leads the first lap. So for the first time in what feels like a long time, it feels like we actually have a different race leader here tonight. So LRS already making his way up. He's on the inside of Dusty Stud, and that's going to be a battle for third.
Yeah, Dusty Stud, like I said earlier, making his moves early. LRS, of course, like you said, tried to make his moves. And here comes Dusty on the outside of Suspect. While Suspect is getting blocked by Demon, this could hurt Suspect as he's now having to deal with traffic. I don't think that's something he's ever had to deal with in this league.
Yep, as now it looks like Dusty's still trying to make that outside line work as no car as far as the front four are really trying to hug that bottom line. The first car that was really able to stick it down there was Deport Eddie. So coming around 3 and 4, they're still all pretty well together here. It looks like we got a couple of cars heading towards the back, but nobody really too far out of the group so far. Demon's still out in the lead, followed by Dusty Stud, and I want to call that a side-by-side finish, but I think you would say that Suspect probably still hanging on to third, but LRS is definitely giving him a run for his money.
Yeah, look no further back into the 5th position. Ooh, that's the one car of Lucas in the wall. Now back up to 4th position, as I was saying before, as Deepport Eddie qualified for looking strong here early on in that number 38 machine as he's making his way underneath Suspect coming off turn 4.
Side by side they come, but so far it has been Demon and Dusty Stud slowly getting away with it so far. We're going to start kind of going back through the field as it looks like, oh gosh, if you go back, not even back to about 4th or maybe even 5th there, maybe it was just my angle, but if they all would have come off perfectly, they would have been 4 wide coming out of 2, but it looks like they've got themselves figured out now.
Yeah, they were about to be 4 wide with one bad right there behind him, trying to just hang back and see what was going to take place. Now he looks underneath the inside of LRS in that number 1 machine. That's going to be one thing we want to pay attention throughout the night is these front runners are going to be doing some back and forth racing, maybe pulling away, but we are going for sure keep an eye on throughout the entire field because these moves and these runs are going to be happening all throughout the field.
Yep, as I'm cycling through all of our drivers here, looks like Hack's still hanging on there. He's currently driving in 7th, trying to hold off LRS and one bad. But you're right, this front 4 pack, they slowly have broken away just a little bit, but we do have a solid pack of about 8 or 9 drivers, just about a second, maybe a second and a half behind.
Yeah, they're about to come off turn 2, 3 wide, just about. LRS in the wall, Hack's in the middle, one bad down low. LRS lets him back out, and one bad is going to take over that position. And here comes the 07 of HD in that 07 car making his moves here early on, trying to make his. Oh, and Luke up in the wall again.
Yeah, LRS could not be happy with how it's gone so far. So,
Somebody's on
and
pit
there we
road.
see Hack going up into the wall here, coming out of one, comes down there. So HD able to take that spot away. A little bit more bumping and banging than I think we saw yesterday in the Cup Series. Is again, we're just kind of cycling through the rest of these drivers here. And I'm not seeing anybody on pit road just yet.
I think there was a wall contact off of turn 4. The way this track is angled, you come off turn 4 and you hit the wall just right, and it'll bounce you down into pit road. You won't hit the line because of how curved the line is coming in, but you'll eventually end up on pit road, and you have to just race your way back up on the track.
Interesting.
I believe it was
Definitely.
Ardeni.
Yeah, it may have been, as I'm just kind of cycling through the field. I know that we're not supposed to pick favorites as far as drivers go, but as far as paint schemes go, I think we can pick favorites. And right now, I can't even lie, I am an absolute love with the 08 machine of Here Comes Mr. J. The old school A10 Warthog look is always a nice winner in my book, so anytime that you can make it look like an airplane, you've got my vote. But then again, that's me growing up as an Air Force kid, so. But yeah, no.
I used to be well, I can't say in a sense Air Force kid. Wasn't growing up around it, but had a former stepmom that did 12 years in the Air Force as a police officer. So always have a little bit of warm heart, even though we're not on the best terms anymore. But I have respect for the Air Force and all of our military all across the board. But yeah, I gotta agree with you that 08 is looking very, very sharp in the Air Force machine. I gotta say,
yes, we're gonna get.
Been a big fan of that number 98 up front with Mobile One. Me and my dad used to own a Mobile One joint back in the early days, and I always had like little Mobile One diecast cars. So I always been a big fan of when Stewart raced in the Mobile One schemes, and now with the number 98 being a High Point Mobile One scheme, I love it.
Yes, we're coming back up to the front, and I don't know if I should say that this is shocking who's out front again. I really don't know if I should say that, so, but Demon has given up the lead, and Suspect Camo has taken away with the lead, has about a 2-car length gap, but Deport Eddie hanging on there in that number 38 machine, hanging on to second place with Demon coming in third, as Suspect tank slaps the wall coming out of 4, and I do believe that is going to allow Deport to actually get the lead there.
With
so,
9 laps remaining.
Yeah, we've had 3 lead changes so far. I think that's the most we've had all season.
I think so. New record. Mark it down, because you ain't going to see it again. Now, Suspect he's riding that high side, and I like it, but it is costing him right now because those bottom side drivers are either sliding up because they're hitting the line, or Suspect is simply just driving off the corner a lot harder than what he probably should be. In my opinion, I think he's probably trying to overdrive the car a little too much, or the car's just too free right now. He might try to tighten it up later on in the run, as these cars tend to be on the looser side. Probably be the reason why he slid up into the wall so much here early on.
Yeah, as it looks like Dusty Stud may have caught the wall just a little bit there, but he's lurking back there in fourth, waiting to see if any of these other drivers will slip up here. But as it stands right now, it's Deport, Camo, Demon, your top 3, followed by Dusty Stud, bringing up 4th place. So just kind of, once again, cycling through the field, seeing how everybody else is doing. Still a whole bunch up here towards the middle of the field here, as we've got about 7 or 8 drivers, all taking different lines, coming through 1 and 2 right now.
Man, they are stacked up back there. Like I said, we're letting these front 3 take away, but, man, what a battle right now between even HD and One Bad. HD pulling away off the high side, but going to scrape the wall off of turn 4. Maybe just a little. One Bad prevails. Yeah, like I said, about 4 or 5 cars, maybe 6, underneath a blanket right now, jockeying for position. With about 5 to go this time by.
Yeah. And silently but surely, SP's held it together here, driving the Allegiant machine. Seems fitting that we're in Vegas, where almost every major sponsor is Allegiant, and their official airport is there in Las Vegas, about 15 miles south here of the track. He's hanging on to a solid 5th place right now, slowly closing the gap here on Dusty Stud. And you mentioned it earlier, Flash may be a contender, and he's coming up right behind, sitting in 6th right now.
Yeah, and talking about biggest gainers as being Flash, one of them. I say the biggest loser right now is this number 1 of Luke of LRS. He has fallen back way deep in the field, back behind Tater Tot right now, and that's. I mean, you got the leader coming off a turn or going in turn 3, and LRS is just now going in turn 3 as well. So probably I don't know, probably 5 to 8
have to wonder if that
gap, and I think he is struggling here early on with the setup because he's probably about a good 4 or 5 seconds back from the lead pack.
Yeah, this lead pack has definitely fanned out here, as no surprise, Suspect Camo slowly breaking away now from Deport, so it seems like his car is more built for the long run, and that's something that we saw last night as well, as we're coming around, should be about 3 to go this time. We saw some cars working their way up through the field the later the runs went, but we also saw some cars get out to a rocket start here, have a fantastic opening, but faded towards the back towards the end. So I wonder if that's what we're seeing evidence of here tonight.
Yeah, I think these guys are getting a little bit loose here early because this track is rough. I'm not even gonna lie, it is very rough around this, almost the bottom to the middle groove. There's a lot of bumps that you have to go over, and a loose car, a ill-handling car, and even a tight car is not going to go over these bumps very well. If you hit it just right, if you're tight, you're going to go straight to the wall. And if you're loose, you're going to probably spin out or have to try to catch the rear end off the corner exit. So a lot of factors to be played here as we're coming up on 2 to go. And these tires are actually wearing out because I'm noticing on Suspect's stream, thank you Suspect for the stream, he is on 21% on his right front and 16% on his right rear, and the lefts are both in the mid-30s. So these tires are
and
worn
going
out.
back in turn 4, we've got a crash. Hack going around. Not quite sure if they're going to throw a yellow for that, as the driver took the flag for 2 to go, but Hack definitely went around, come through 3 and 4. We were talking about it earlier, all those cars being bunched up. Looked like it was one bad. The 54 machine, the 07 machine, and the 6 all kind of got together up at the same corner coming out of 4, and Hack comes out the loser of that, as I was looking back to see who was headed down pit lane, and it was Red Hawk who was down, and there goes Dusty Stud spinning out as well. But that is going to be the... Yeah, that will be the end of the stage, so a little bit of chaos here to end it, as it might have actually been UTLR Kenny there, although he's coming around 3 and 4, so... Be interesting to see, but a whole host of drivers there got together. But again, coming back up here to the front, Suspect Camo comes away with yet another stage win.
Yeah,
Eddie lost a tire, is what we're hearing now.
Oh, wow.
As well.
Yep.
So.
When Suspect was your winner, with Demon second, SP third, Flash fourth, One Bad fifth, Drake sixth, Deport seventh, Low Broke eighth, Tater Tot 9th, way to go for him, and 10th is Hack. That does round out your top 10 for stage number 1.
Not too bad of a scene there for sure. So we're going to come around to stage 2 here. No surprises up here at the front with Suspect and Demon leading the way on the front row. Second row is going to be made up of SP and Flash, and we are back to Green Flag Racing. A little bit of a mix-up here.
SP and Flash right there, right back into contention. SP coming strong here early on, and I like that Allegiant car. I'm not even gonna lie, I like that Aqua along with the orange and gray. It blends just right.
Yep. Definitely one of the more favorable custom schemes as we're starting to go through the field here. Demon still stuck on the high side as SP still attached to the back bumper of Suspect here, but again, Suspect still taking off so far.
Yeah, it looks like Kenny's back there in that 10 car. He is struggling with the handling as we're 3 wide in the middle of the pack, coming off 2. They are gaggling position. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that's going to be about 7 to 10 cars deep there. as we're going to go ahead, cycle through the field. We're going to try to catch up with Dusty Stud, who came out of the pits a little bit loose there. And that's Lodebroke, who ends up getting shot up into the wall, got loose coming out of 3 and 4. It looks like everybody was able to keep it straight.
Yeah, that happened right behind D4. I was on board with him as it happened right behind him. I think maybe with SP, I'm not for sure on that.
Well, SP's up in second, so might be a little bit hard for that one to be SP there. So, again, we'll get back through field and get everybody caught up. Kenny's still trying to wheel around that number 10 machine as the number 4 machine of our Denny goes ahead and takes laps 4 as well. So, he's not having the best of nights either here, but trying to get it all back together as Red Hawk is back on track, trying to get his spots back. And if we look about halfway through the field, LRS is slowly making his march all the way back up to the front.
Yeah, he wants to make a statement in that number 1. He's like, man, my car wasn't handling good first stage. Yeah, they were finally able to get that step because now these drivers have been having to fight with the setup that they have pre-race and fight throughout the entire stage. Now that stage 1 was their first chance to put in whatever adjustments they wanted to make this car how they want it to be.
And look at that huge run there on the top side for LRS, able to get around Drake there in the 54 Twix machine. First time we've seen that car out here as well. Now he's able to dive. Yeah, he's slowly trying to work his way up here. So now he's got HD right in front of him in the 07 machine. But slowly trying to get to the back bumper of Flash. And honestly, if this pack here from about 5th to about 9th can get it together here, they may have something to say to potentially break up the Suspect run here. But so far, it has still been Suspect, Demon, and SP your top 3.
Yeah, Suspect still kind of not able to pull away right now. Demon staying right within reach. And the bad thing is if you get enough cars within, like probably less than a car length, I would say, you can still get that draft. Like I said, we're on low draft, so you guys are going to have to fight harder to stay in the draft in order to keep it, because these cars, you're not going to have about 2 or 3 cars within a car length to be able to form that draft. If you were a car length or more outside, you probably would not get that draft if you do it in very, very little, and that draft will play somewhat of a role as we go on throughout the race.
LRS finally able to clear the 07 machine, and he has worked his way up to 8th now, currently working on the back bumper of Flash. That's going to be a battle for 7th, so definitely a nice bounce back. And if I'm looking at his car, it looks like he almost went with an Allegiant scheme as well, but he went more South Point, one of the other main sponsors here. And again, look at him running that high side. He's got something cooking there as he's able to pass Flash clean, and that's a clean pass for 7th place.
Yeah, I like that South Point car right now. Like I said, he's making moves, he's making progression, and like you said, it is we're in Sin City, South Point. Why not?
Going back up through the field here, SP still hanging on to the back bumper of Demon, who's about a car length off of Suspect Camo's back bumper there. So, but again, Suspect, everybody, he even was counting himself out, saying he wasn't sure if he was going to have the car to run tonight. But so far, maybe he was really just downplaying it. He's got some kind of a setup so far, still able to break away as SP slowly trying to reel in Demon for 2nd.
Yeah, he's staying within reach. I will say that Demon is not letting him pull away. So he is doing very well of hugging that bottom. This is Demon's one of Demon's better tracks. So as long as he can keep Suspect within reach, just like he did, I think Demon might have a shot come later on.
It looks like all the drivers have fanned out. Don't see any side-by-side action. Drive just kind of going through the field. So definitely see who's got
Suspect
a little bit of a better.
Here comes Demon for the lead.
And just kind of going back to the field, it looks like B-Ball's having a little bit of a lag spike here, so we may have to see how that affects the drivers behind him, as it looks like our Denny and Lodebroke are side by side, but that's towards the back of the field. But B-Ball just trying to hang on to it, got super high, and now is kind of driving down through the middle, so may need to be an issue here that we keep an eye on in the number 16 machine.
Yeah, Ian, I take a look at number 19 right now. I was watching the stream, and he is fighting loose right now as he's letting Demon now walk away, just about open up with about a half a second gap. because now he's under pressure from SP on the outside, and right behind him is One Bad. And then right behind, or right next to One Bad is Deport. So Suspect back here in a little bit of a gaggle. He's out in front of him right now, but SP is not letting him take away.
Yeah, and again, that outside line is showing to work, as we saw LRS using that outside line to get better runs. So it looks like Suspect might have pinched just a little bit on SP, but you're right. He's definitely had to let off just a little bit. I wonder if it may be a little bit of a conservation move, or if he truly is loose, as One Bad's going to slide up, as we are now 3 wide, almost going 4 wide, coming out of 2. SP's up in the wall.
And Deport's around.
And
or
the round goes...
Dusty.
Yep, that's Dusty that goes around there. And it looks like he's the only... Yeah, the 1-car rule comes into effect here, so... Definitely not how he expected that to go, but somebody had to lose, and unfortunately, with him being at the bottom, unfortunately, that's usually how it comes out. Riding along with Deport now, he's on the back bumper of One Bad, and now the Legacy Motor Club guys from Cup have gotten back together. It's going to be the 44 and the 1 machine, so it'll be interesting to see how they run together here. We're going a little bit further back, and it looks like we got another car that slapped the wall halfway down the backstretch here. See if we can catch up with them. Make sure that everything's okay. That's going to be the 07 machine of HD. Definitely not having the best performance that he's looking for.
Yeah, he started off really strong. Maybe it's just a setup of his that it's not working right now. As we are under caution. We're at 5 to go. Coming around this time by will be 4 to go for the stage. So these guys are going to have to get on it and get back off on the track if they have any chance at a restart.
Yeah, as it looks like Ardeni's going to go ahead and take his free pass here. Didn't see any issues as far as if there was an actual wreck anywhere outside of Dusty Stud. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, we've got these first couple cars have a nice little gap all the way up here, as it looks like everybody's going to take advantage and come down pit lane.
I was about to say, I wonder, even though these cars are shot, I wonder if we'll have anybody that stays out. It does not appear so. You never know when it comes down to this with strategy. Do you go for the stage points, or do you go for potentially better positioning at the end of the stage? Because if you were to stay out right here, you might get better stage points. You might not, depending on how the tires are. But you never know how this might play out, because I've seen a few guys do it here or there.
Yep, we'll have to see how these guys come out. It's always weird seeing these drivers come into pit lane from a stream, as it looks like, is that the 08? Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay.
Mr. J.
Mr. J with the interesting call.
The Air Force rocket ship.
Okay. Definitely not who we were expecting to be out front here, as honestly I was expecting that one to be a Demon or a Suspect call. I wonder if he only went with 2 tires.
I bet you he did, because the way he timed that out, Demon didn't come out until like a few seconds later, so I'm willing to bet that was a 2-tire stop for the 08 machine. We'll see how it pays off, because I believe, we'll see at the line, but I believe this is going to be probably a 2-lap shootout. So yeah, it's going to be coming down to the wire. So with 2 tires on a 2-lapper, if you know how to hook it, then that's definitely enough laps for those 2 tires to last. That's going to be about it, though. 2 or 3 laps, and then those tires are going to be pretty much toasted, and those guys on 4 tires are just going to rip you a new one. We come around for the chip zone this time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what exactly they do decide, and he's going to choose to go high, giving up the low lane. I think he saw what was coming behind him and said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead, try to get some stage points here, as we did see a few drivers last night in the Cup Series try this move as well, and if it means anything, it was me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me, because I'm the one that tried it, and needless to say, it didn't work, is now we see the 98 pulling off.
Whoa, what is happening?
Not sure what is going on with that number 98 machine, but he has come to a complete stop in 2, as he is now getting back on track. I wonder if he elected to start in the rear. Interesting choice made there by the 98 machine. Don't know what that was about, but...
Or I wonder if he was late on his choose cone and did not commit to the bottom or the high side.
Well, on my screen, he was definitely at the bottom, so...
Below the, or on the apron?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was definitely down.
Well,
so,
it's going to be a two-lap shootout here, so we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how this rolls here, but Mr. J in the 08 is the control car. We'll have to see if D-Port's going to give him a shove here as we're coming to the shove in the restart box, and away we go. And Mr. J is actually going to get a little bit of a boost, but it's not going to be a lot. He's going to get a little bit hung out to dry, stuck high side, and there goes Suspect, and here we go, Mr. J. Yep, and sliding all the way back to about 8th place in one turn is Mr. J there.
Right,
so definitely not the run that he was. Yeah, that definitely did not work. His Suspect's coming around, and he's got a lot of space in front of him. One bad, it almost looks like he choked up there. Coming through 3 and 4. White and green flags this time by for the 19 machine of Suspect Camo. One bad in second as Suspect gets a little bit of a wall slap there. I don't think it's going to be enough, as now just looking back, it looks like he's sending everybody to what I like to call Gapplebees.
We got one around in the back.
Yep, we do have one around back. Yeah, Tater Tot goes around on the last lap here as Red Hawk's going to fall back just a little bit. LRS is still going to compete here as we're coming back to the line. Suspect will take the stage, and D-Port's going to come home second.
What a battle between second place right there between One Bad and D-Port. One Bad was fighting hard the inside, but on that outside lane off of 2, it does prevail as the top 10 finishing order for stage number 2. Let's see. Suspect would get back to it. D-Port was second, One Bad third, LRS fourth, SP fifth, Flash 6th, HD 7th, Drake in 8th, Low Broke 9th, and Dusty Stud comes home in 10th.
Yeah. An interesting choice there, again, from the 98 machine. They fall to the back. If he finishes top 3, we may have to see if we can have a conversation with him to see if there was an ulterior motive behind that there, or seeing if he maybe wanted to see if he could try to work with other cars rather than just being stuck up front. Fortunately for Mr. J, the payoff did not work, but we're coming up to stage 3 now. Suspect on the inside, D-Port on the outside. Stage 3 coming at you.
Oh, Inef tuning in. I love Inef so much. Got a lot of respect for him. He races here, or commentates on our Wednesday night program. But saying it's an HD reference whenever I say gaggle.
Gaggles.
Gaggle.
That's apparently the word.
Gaggling for position. That's an HD reference. I got you, Inef.
Yep. So I told y'all, if you make comments in the comments section, we will try to read them out here as live as we can. Suspect still in the lead, D-Port right behind him, and we got the 07 going down through the grass into pit road.
Oh my God!
Flipping it on the backstretch. That's going to be a caution at the line no matter what.
Wow.
That's Dusty Stud that gets involved. UTLR Kenny's involved. Tater Tot's now going around.
The big
Pack
one at
has
Vegas.
gone around.
I was on board SP, and I'm just seeing cars, like, he's sideways at the start and finish line, just cars are just flying in and then just killing and murdering themselves.
Yeah, and I think LRS got involved in that too. He was in third. Wow, there was a lot more people involved in this than I thought. Yeah, it looks like it might have been a chain reaction from about 3rd place back, but wow.
Yeah, I know, if I gotta agree with you, that was a junkyard.
Yeah, definitely not what we expect to see here from our drivers at Vegas. Have to wonder what exactly happened there as we see SP just kind of driving through the grass, just saying, I've got to pit anyway for damage, so might as well do a little bit of lawn work out here.
The grass was cut short enough.
Yep, so, but while we have a second, you did mention INF is out here in the chat, so just want to give a quick shout out to him and all of his work that he does for the UTLR League broadcasting on Wednesday nights. Hopefully we'll get to see him driving here a couple times in the league as well. But just want to give a quick shout out to INF. Shout out to Toby Welsh, who's been in chat, Rock NASCAR, and the entire Xbox One esport racing community for showing up, showing out. We've got a few people still tuning in and watching right now, so we appreciate everybody for sticking around. Our first big wreck of the race so far, as it looks like everybody's coming down pit lane this time.
Yeah, kind of touching up on INF. He was off and on. Starting off, he helped out in what was at one point Lightyear racing and helped out in everything, helping them out and getting our broadcast going. But that guy we've reached out to him and said, hey, we're not going to try to steal you away, but if you can and you want to, please come broadcast for us. And that guy, I cannot thank him enough, and I don't think he gets the appreciation that he really deserves. And he comes out every single week. He puts on a thrilling broadcast by himself, mind you. He would rather be by himself in a full Cup Series 50% broadcast than be with two people. So big props to him, and I can't thank him enough for what he does in this league and the future that it holds for him, as I've kind of touched on him with what our ideas are in the broadcasting realm here at UTLR, and he's going to be a amazing broadcaster, and I can't wait to see what the future does for him by broadcasting for us. So thank you, INF, for everything that you do here.
Yep, and he says he will hope to be in this field next week, in quotes, hopefully. So it'll be nice to see him out here on the track with us, and obviously appreciate everything he does. I don't know if he's done broadcasting school before, but I definitely see it as something, if he wanted to do it, definitely a future that he would have something in with the way that he's shown in his broadcast. So, and I don't say that lightly, only because my real life job is me doing play-by-play and being the sports director for a little town out here in Wyoming, hence the name Some Wyoming Guy. But no, he's definitely got what it takes if he wants to make it a career, and it can be lucrative at times. I definitely think that would be something that he could pursue. So shout out to Colorado Media School. I know they don't get a lot of shout outs, but hey, shout out to my alma mater right there. So, wow, I think that's the first time I've actually had time to give them their actual props. Huh, go figure.
Nice. I love it.
So,
get ready for the restart here.
Yep, Suspect and Deport on the front row. Second row is going to be One Bad and Demon. And looking at that third row, I think B-Ball is making his way up to the third row with Flash on the inside there. It'll be interesting to see if the 16 can hold it back together here. I know we saw him having a little bit of lag issues earlier on in stage number 2, so we'll have to see if he got that all figured out. But Suspect bringing him back to the line here in the Guy Car restart zone, and we are back to green flag racing here from Las Vegas.
Hopefully we'll just see B-Ball start B-balling it up here in Sin City in that 16 car.
Yeah, not too much of a run right now given for Suspect as he holds on to that inside line. It looks like a couple drivers catch that apron there, as it looks like B-Ball's going to try to push it wide, and he's going to get into the wall coming out of 2. But so far, it looks like Suspect is slowly starting to pull away, and this is what we've come to expect here from Suspect. He gets away from the first couple of laps, and then slowly the cars behind him just slowly start to reel him in.
Yeah, I will say for the first time this season, we can actually talk about other drivers and actually having a shot at winning this. And they're able to keep, sorry, I'm going to say Deport. Sorry, trying to keep Suspect within range. I just lost my words for a second. Oh my god.
English can be hard. We all know that it's a thing. So I've had those issues myself. So
exactly. Wow.
Yeah. See, now it's rubbing off on you now, isn't it?
Don't even start. No.
It's all good.
Texas slang is different from English slang.
Okay, if you say so. But anyway, Suspect still has about a 2.5, 3 car length lead over One Bad, who's currently in second. Deport hanging on to third, and it looks like that is Flash and Demon going side by side. Come through 3 and 4. That's going to be a battle for fourth.
Yeah, what a battle going on between Flash and Demon there. As looks like Demon is going to clear Flash off of turn number 4 down the straightaway. Man, these guys are doing so well, though. I gotta give this series props. Even like this week and right now, these guys put on a show every single week. They've been one of the better series. If I being honest here, every series puts on a great show every single week. But these Xfinity guys have had the least amount of cautions throughout all 3 series so far this year. So props to them. And right now, these guys are making a low draft package seem like it's regular or high draft because they're staying within one another. Nobody's letting Suspect really pull away. You would have thought the last 2 weeks were on high draft and this week was on low draft, and you're right, but you're not right because Daytona was on high draft.
Oh, we got one down into the wall, coming halfway down the backstretch. And we've got multiple cars around. That's going to be a caution at the line. Have to go back to the field to see. Yeah, not quite sure what that was there. I don't know if we're actually going to get it, but
caution.
HD definitely got the bad end of that. I have to wonder if he's the car that got sent down. I know I was riding on board with Suspect looking back through the field, and I just saw one car dive down immediately halfway down the Nellis super stretch, down the backstretch. That's what they call it, is the Nellis straightaway, only because Nellis Air Force Base is actually sitting right behind where all those RVs and buses are. If you ever get a chance to go out to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, do a track tour. It's only $10. It's a really fun time, especially when they are testing out their F-16 Raptors, and they will come off of their runway there and slam instantly to the left 90 degrees. It's a really cool sight to see. So if you ever get a chance, that would definitely be a bucket list thing. And I'm not just saying that because I got to do it a couple years ago, but it's definitely worth it. I think anytime that you can do a track tour, get a chance to step on the track, go check out the bankings, go check out the walls, and see what makes every track a little bit unique.
Yes, indeed. Can't say much. I've only been to 2 tracks. I've not gotten to step, or sorry, 3 tracks total. I've not gotten to step on 2 of them. Just gotten to step on my home track. So, I love how HG's car looks like it has been Carson Hocevar into the wall. That car almost looks like a truck after he's been done with it. So HD, I need you to get better, son. I need you to quit acting like Corey Haim out there and actually do something for once, please. Thank you very much. From your friend Storm. Thank you.
Are you out here calling HD a non-driver?
No, he's got some driving ability. Don't be a Corey Haim and don't be a Carson Hocevar.
Yeah. I don't know if you just saw this here as all the cars are coming out. Suspect obviously still hanging on to the lead there. I just want to make sure that my eyes were correct here. I thought I just saw Tater Tot and Ape.
He's been pretty good here early on, as we see Suspect coming back down pit road.
Yeah, have to wonder what happened there. I mean, he was definitely going over the speed limit to get back there. I wonder if he's doing that to get back to the front, but I'd have to assume that he would actually have to drop to the back here.
Yeah, he will have to drop to the back.
Yeah.
Tires.
Oh, yep. Tire issue there. So it looks like Kitty's going to go ahead and come in and get his fresh rounds here. But again, I'm still trying to go through the field to make sure that I'm seeing what I saw earlier. I don't know. Maybe it was just an illusion. I thought I saw Tater Tot up in the top 5 coming off of pit road.
Nah,
I thought I saw it. Was that B-ball?
Yeah,
okay.
That's B-ball. I know their cars look somewhat similar.
Wait, no. Look on the inside of road number 4.
Well, no, I mean, that is Tater Tot, but that's outside top 5, bud.
Oh, I thought it looked like he was climbing up the ranks, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, we have not said a lot about you. But hey, look at him. He's still making something out of it. That's still in the top 10. Definitely not where we've traditionally seen him, but if he can make this stick, hey, that's a pretty solid day for him.
Well, I will say, for the first time tonight, we do not have Suspect anywhere to be found in the front part of the field. So now he's got to see how he's going to do battle around his drivers, and tonight has not been as easy for him as it has been the last 2 weeks. So we'll see what it makes of it as we come back to the restart zone. He's got to get back under racing here in Las Vegas.
Getting back to it, and that inside line absolutely took off like a rocket there. That's one bad out front with Flash right behind him, and Hack, after his mishap there in the beginning stages of this race, he's all the way back up to third off the restart.
Gaggle onto the backstretch as Taylor Tot is lagging and people are having to avoid him. Yeah,
was hoping that he'd be able to
93.
hang on to that one.
He just cost Dusty Stud some positions, but 93 is lagging right now. And it's costing drivers having to stack up, and Suspect is behind him too, so this could get scary.
Yeah, coming back here to the lead, Flash is now on the outside of One Bad. That is a battle for the lead. Can Flash hang on to it? It looks like he's got the line, and he is going to go ahead and take it. It rubs up against the wall. We got 4 drivers within a quarter of a second of each other.
Yeah, we got a race going on right now for sure. D-Port from the outside of Flash off of turn 4, side by side as we head down the straightaway.
Coming to the line, it looks like they are going to give Flash the lead on that lap, but D-Port is not giving it up easily. Sitting on the outside, as it looks like One Bad is now maybe going to try to press the issue, potentially make this 3 wide, but the board that they race side by side, you know the favorites sitting back in the field of Demon and Suspect, they have to like what they're seeing. If they can get through traffic, they may have something to say here towards the end.
I gotta say though, that's a big if. I'm not counting them out by no means, but like I said earlier, these guys have not been able to pull away as much as what we'd hoped for. So now the question remains, do these drivers finally have the upper hand and able to start doing some blocking, kill some runs, and help and make him force this outside lane, which we're doing right now, making him force the outside. So we'll see how he operates through this field.
Yeah, D-Port still hanging on to the outside, even though he clearly does have the lead here. Even though Flash and One Bad are sitting right there, Hack hanging on to 4th, and Drake coming through solidly. Been a little bit of a quiet race for him, but he's sitting there nicely coming in 5th.
Yeah, Suspect is in trouble. He got into the outside wall and had some rear-end collection, and now his car is fighting loose, Ian. Suspect is not having the best race right now, fighting a very, very loose car. I don't know if he's waiting for that setup to come in, but it is not going well for him right now.
Yeah, have to wonder what is exactly going on with that 19 crew. Obviously, they had a mishap there on pit road. And, I mean, we saw it last night where drivers, they got caught up in one little misfortune, and it sent them to the back after they've been having a very solid, if not a fantastic race.
Yeah, no, Kenny has lagged out of this race in that number 10 machine, unfortunately, so I hate to hear that from him. I know he's been dealing with lag issues the last few weeks across all the series that he runs. And Demon, or sorry, not Demon, Suspect and Denny make contact going into turn 3.
Slowly but surely, he's going to try to find a way to get his way back up through the field. But coming back up here to the front, it is D-Port, Flash, One Bad, Hack, and Drake, your top 5. And it seems like they are all starting to break away just a little bit.
With 20 laps to go, Suspect fighting a loose car, 20 to go. These guys are starting to break away in this top 4 or 5 pack. And Suspect is still back in the 12th position. Ian, that's going to be hard. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's going to be hard unless he can find a way. It's going to be not the easiest.
Yeah, but slowly but surely, he may be able to pick them off one by one. He's got Red Hawk ahead of him, and it looks like that is SP just one spot ahead of him. But yeah, coming back up through that line, yeah, he's going to be hard. Or correction, that is Dusty Stud, who's now side by side with Red Hawk. So Suspect still trying to work his way through the field. SP just ahead of them, and then just slowly a little bit ahead of them in the 16 machine is B-Ball, and then we have Demon and LRS. So a few of those contenders that we didn't see early on, they're slowly making their way up. I just don't know if they may have just given a little bit too much space to that first group of 5.
Yeah, this I said, and the hardest thing for anybody, really, not just Suspect, and we're not really just trying to highlight him, but this low draft. If you get any type of gap, like it is between Drake and I believe that LRS, a gap like that's gonna be hard to catch on. So you're not gonna have the good draft to help you maintain that gap and start closing the gap. It's gonna make it that much harder on drivers to close in.
Yes, Suspect has made his way back up into the top 10 here. If Demon and LRS can work together, they may have a shot to get back up to Drake. And if they could get up to Drake, it may be now a 7, maybe an 8 car battle, as SP sitting right there as well. But going back to the front, Deport and Flash currently sitting 1-2. One Bad currently trying to work the back bumper of Flash just a little bit, trying to see if he can make any kind of move. Obviously lets out through 1 and 2 to make sure that he doesn't send him there. But One Bad, he's almost been a very unsung hero of this series so far this season. Obviously the big push to Suspect to help him win the 200 or the 150 there in Daytona, and then another top 3 finish when we were out at Auto Club, and now here he is fighting for second again. He may not be winning, but he's probably been one of the more consistent drivers of the series so far this season.
Well, and One Bad is one guy that likes to adapt. He's really good at adapting. He's never driven these cars before. He came into this league with driving trucks. Then he moved over to the Cup Series. But whenever we were racing in the Xfinity cars, he did not participate in the Xfinity. So this is his first season in this league, a veteran, but first timer in this Xfinity car. So he's having to learn how these cars handle. And like I said, he's been a very, very good competitor throughout the league, and a week-on-week basis respectable competitor on and off the track at times. So he for sure is making his statement here early on in the series.
Yeah, so he's currently side by side with Flash here, battling for second, but Deport still trying to gap just a little bit. But now Hack, sitting on the back bumper of One Bad, may try to force the issue here very soon. LRS in 6th, Demon in 7th, SP 8th, and that is Suspect sitting back there in 9th. So I think all of our picks are kind of sitting there in that 4 through 9 range here. But Deport just showing everybody that, hey, don't count me out. I may just be a rookie as far as racing here in UTLR, but I'm going to have something to say. And so far, he's probably had one of the cleaner races of all the drivers.
Yes, he has. I've been very impressed by his runs here early on. And like you were saying, he is a rookie this year in the league, and that's going to be a very awesome statement if he can hold on and even have a solid top 3 finish here in Vegas. But one thing to note is green flag pit stops potentially coming up. They have about 11 laps in their tanks, maybe about 10, probably about 10 because Suspect pitted a lap later, but probably about 10 laps left in their tank. If we stay green, they're going to have to make a pit stop. The problem is, Suspect has been having to drive through the field, having to wear out his tires. He's gotten loose here and there. He's had contact with a couple drivers on his way up, just wearing those tires that much more versus the leaders. Probably somewhat close, but not near as close as the others.
As it looks like we're going to get a caution here. I don't...
What?
Oh, Dusty Stud's up in the wall in 1 and 2. I know that much. I don't know, as it looks like B-Ball is now coming around here, so I think B-Ball and Dusty Stud might have gotten into it, and that's why we're seeing them here towards the tail end. So that green flag pit stop talk that you were talking about, that option just went out the window, and you have to think all these drivers, they're all going to take 4, and they're all going to gas it up all the way. Because clearly the 2-tire stop is not the move.
Well, yeah. You are not taking 2 tires. You're still in the middle of the run.
Suspect says he is saved.
I don't know. I know Suspect was struggling big time, and the problem is we'll see how he comes out, but he's still going to have to battle some traffic. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. I say his storyline on saying that he wasn't going to be at his best track, and now he's got all eyes on him, and that's the reason why we're covering him still, because He's like, oh, I'm not gonna be the best. We're like, all right, well then prove it. You're not gonna be the best here. We gotta see it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Still funny to me seeing all these cars just plowing through each other to get to their quote-unquote pits here on our screen. But yet on their screen, they went in perfectly. So Hack's coming out. It looks like the front 4 or 5 have popped out. Flash is going to come out second. And Suspect gains nothing. He might have actually lost a little bit of ground to Red Hawk. He does lose a little bit of ground. So he's going to be starting in 10th now. But your front 5, the only change I see is Drake had a little bit of a slower stop that time. So he's going to fall out of the top 5. And now Demon takes over 5th.
Sorry, my fruit snacks. Yeah. So,
no, you're good.
Yeah, you're good. Alright, this podcast is sponsored by Welch's Mixed Fruit.
Jesus.
One of the most smackiest fruit snacks on God's given earth. Made of real fruit, by the way, so yeah, go out and buy you some Welch's. Family farmer owned.
And by Coke Zero. Is it the best Coke yet? You try for yourself. See, I'm telling you, man, we could get some corporate sponsor stuff in here.
What kind of Coke are we talking?
Coke Zero.
Oh, okay.
You know,
something else.
Not. Oh my god. Look, I get it. We're in Vegas, but no, bad. No.
Dang it. Alright.
Yeah, it's not that kind of a Vegas trip here, as it looks like a lot of the drivers stuck to the low side, and Suspect may luck out. He went high side, and he's going to be starting on the outside of row number 4.
As long as I get the Vegas girls at the end of the night, and we get to go to the casino, I'm good.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to South Point for sponsoring the Cup Series and helping us out with that.
Party in Vegas. Roll the dice, baby. Where the girls at?
God, it sounds like you've already been partaking in Vegas before we're even done with the races here, sir. Jesus Christ.
No, I haven't started. I can't start if you want to.
Oh no, please don't. Let's try to keep it together. We still got about, what, 15... I was going to say, we still got a few laps to go here with the Xfinity Series, and then we will focus on that. But Deport and Hack are going to make up... Yeah, Deport and Hack making up your front row. Flash and Demon your second row. One Bad LRS row 3. And row number 4 will be SP and Suspect. So a lot of heavy hitters here in the top 8, and away we go. And that inside line once again makes a nice push here. So Deport getting a nice shove, getting back out to the front.
Yeah, the outside did not get going as quickly. So how will it impact Suspect here? LRS is looking to the high side to block him on the outside, but he's got Demon in front of him.
Yep, and it looks like, I don't know who that was, but they got up into the wall. It looks like we had a couple drivers up into the wall. Unfortunately, I think that might have been the 93 of Tater Tot as well. So coming across the line, it is still Deport, Flash, One Bad, your top 3. SP sitting there in 4th with Drake in 5th. Demon trying to go to the outside of Drake, trying to make that outside line work. And Suspect, again, he's trying to fight through this traffic as Hack has slid way back after starting there on the front row.
Yeah, Suspect up to the 8th position, battling with this traffic, and it's not the easiest. He's going to have a hard fight right here in front of Drake and LRS. Those are two tough guys in the sport. We're down to 20 laps to go. It'll be 19 this time by.
Yep, so ideally they should be able to make it on one more tank. It's going to be a matter of who burns up their tires and who conserves just enough here. But so far it looks like Deport and Flash, similar to what we've seen earlier on in stage number 3, get to the lead and run your line and leave everybody else just a little bit behind there.
Yeah, so they are going to be good on fuel. They're about +3, +4. They should be good on tires. It is ×2, but these tires have been burning up pretty good. So we'll see, because these cars are fighting loose, and the more you slide the car in the corners and the more it tries to bobble around in the corners, the more wear that you're going to wear on the tires. So it's all in your own court. So we'll see how these tires play out, as we're only about 2 or 3 laps into the run, and Suspect is burning about almost 5% per lap, 3 to 5% per lap. So tires are not the best condition here in Vegas. This track does beat him up.
And if I'm seeing that right, he's potentially looking to make it 3 wide back there in 7th place.
You know, he is trying to make a good move, trying to get everything he can right now out of this number 19 machine.
Yeah, and again, heck of a run by him, but also shout out to Demon for what he's been able to do as well, because he's done something very similar. He started at the back at the beginning of the stage after a really quick flipping caution. He started there at the back, and he's made his way all the way back up, as it looks like he's going to go ahead and take 5th place away.
And here comes Suspect down below him for the position.
Yep, Suspect slowly trying to pick everybody off here. So, again, we're not trying to make it the Suspect show, and if it's come across that way, I apologize, but he's really been one of the best stories of the season so far. He absolutely has. With his dominant run at Auto Club, the last second run at the Daytona, it's just been a solid run day in, day out. And I've been saying that that's been one bad in 3rd. As I'm looking now, that is a different car. That is a number 1 machine. LRS is now on the back bumper of Flash and D-Port.
LRS now starting to make a late race charge here in the going. We'll have to keep an eye on that as we start down to about 15 laps to go now.
Your top 5 as it stands right now: D-Port with Flash, LRS, Suspect, and One Bad. And One Bad has gotten around Suspect here, so Suspect's still sitting back in 5th.
And the best part about this is that I can tell you right now, One Bad, LRS, for sure those two, they do not want Suspect to get by them. They will block with everything they've got to make sure that Suspect does not get around them. Those two guys are hungry to finish ahead of him and beat him.
Yes, D-Port gets up into the wall. Yeah, and it looks like Demon is now trying to trap Suspect up high, but Suspect's going to go ahead and get by. These front 7 cars are all almost single file here, so we might be in for a nice little ending here. But again, depending on what One Bad has done in the past, he may end up helping Suspect if Suspect does get around him. As it looks like Suspect and now Demon are going to try to go high side. Demon trying to hang on to it. Don't know if he got a little bit of a wall scrub there. But Suspect now trying to work that high line. LRS seeing it and blocking it high. He's made his way up to 4th, and now he's diving down to the inside. He is down to the inside of LRS. That is for 3rd. So now Flash and D-Port have a situation ahead of them, as Suspect now to the inside of Flash. And Suspect has now worked his way from the back, and he is all the way back up here to 2nd. What is in the engine of this number 19 Supra? Because holy cow, working his way from the back, making his moves, and here he goes down to the inside of D-Port. Can D-Port hang on? D-Port
looking strong.
Yep, we're going to come to the line as Suspect has the low line. D-Port still leads that lap. We'll have to see how they coming out of 1 and 2.
This time by will be 10 to go.
Late race charge. D-Port still hanging on to the lead. That outside line working as LRS is up into the wall. Couple wall scrubs there. That's good, might end his run effectively, but only slides back to 7th. He's got SP's draft right there, and One Bad is right underneath, and D-Port is going down, and we've got a huge wreck.
I don't know what happened. I just was on board Flash, and I see D-Port around, and Flash just collides with him. So I'm thinking there's contact between him and Suspect.
Yeah, Suspect slid up coming out of 4, got into the 38 and the 22 there, and it sent the entire top 5 spinning there, and I think the 19 was the only one that saved it. So it's going to be an interesting little conversation there in Radioactive to see how that goes, because I'm pretty sure there might be a couple drivers who may have something to say about what just happened.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting indeed. These guys trying to jockey for position and just absolutely nothing to do. Sometimes you just run out of room and things happen. But a late race caution, I was kind of hoping it'd stay green because the fact the tire wear for the last, I mean, you were at 10 to go and leader's tires were about 50%. So at the end of that race, you're looking at probably 30s on your tires. And I know Suspect has not been the best car when it comes down to low tires tonight. So I was kind of hoping to see some of a good battle, see how he'd perform on old tires once again, if it'd be worth watching. But he's done good so far. We'll see if anybody's going to capitalize on this as we see the race off pit road.
Yeah, Suspect is not happy with how he got the lead there at all.
No, he's not.
So, I mean, I definitely know that that's going to be a conversation that's going to be had in the booth for, well, not the booth, but the hauler for a little bit as well. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is, because I really don't. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say drivers wreck others on purpose. That's not my job. And that truly did look like, you know, he did just kind of get loose there. But I'm not quite sure how it came out on your stream or anything like that. But
by the time I looked on, on the stream, I was on board with Flash. I had Suspect stream pulled up, and by the time I looked over, it had already happened, and I didn't get to see any of it. I just saw Deport around, but strong run for Deport.
yeah, similar to what we saw last night with a couple different drivers getting caught up in a late race caution there as well. But looks like we got most of the main competitors heading down to the bottom. B-Ball, hello. Welcome back to the front row there in the 16. Hey, buddy, I know you started second. Definitely not what I was expecting here with about 8 laps to go. But second row is going to be made up of LRS and Dusty Stud. Stud making a move. Yep, Hack and it looks like Drake are going to make up row 3. Mr. J and Flash making up row number 4. So, very interesting front 8. I will say that, but it'll be interesting. Yeah, either way, we know that we're down to single digits. And after we get to the 5 laps to go, yellows are turned off. So I gotta say, I know it may not be the best thing to say, but I would not be surprised if we see a little extra rubbing after what we just saw here a couple laps ago. But here we go. Suspect and B-Ball back up here to the front. Suspect is the control car, and away we go. B-Ball gets up and going. Dusty Stud was not on his back bumper. Yeah, Yep, so we got 2 laps of green before yellows are effectively turned off for the evening. LRS hanging on to second. B-Ball hanging on to it there in third, and Drake's going to get shot down the track. Looks like he got a little bit of a ping pong there. He's able to come back up cleanly. LRS still not going to let Suspect get away. B-Ball hanging on to third, coming around this time. 6 to go. Yeah, the Suspect's able to get down to the bottom of that track and really effectively cut off LRS's run there. LRS has a little bit of a charge leading on that top side. He's trying to stay off the wall as Suspect gets a little bit of a wall rub coming out of the backstretch into 3. Still coming around. We've got a lot of single file racing now as we're coming around. It's going to be 5 to go. So officially yellows are turned off per league rule, and LRS is now trying to hunt down Suspect. B-Ball still hanging on to that third position after having those lagging woes earlier. It seems like he has gone ahead and fixed them, as we are now at 4 laps to go. Suspect slowly breaking away from LRS now. It may only be a matter of time, as now we see a car getting stuck high, and that's going to be a battle back there for 4th place between Hack, SP, and let me see if I can see who that is. That's the 07 machine of HD. HD. Yep, so, and I do apologize. Yes, that is Dusty Stud there. So, 3 laps to go. LRS slowly trying to reel in Suspect. As we're coming across the line, it's going to be 2 to go this time. Looks like LRS is only behind by about a couple car lengths, so he's trying to reel him in. He may have just been baiting Suspect here, trying to get to his back bumper, but it looks like Suspect still hitting those corners quite well, as we're sitting back here riding along with Flash Champ here on my screen, as HD makes the pass on Dusty Stud for 5th. As we're now diving in. Yep, and it might be a battle for 3. Yep, we got the white flag out, and it looks like it may be a battle for 3rd, as HD has cleared Hack and is now trying to get to the inside of B-Ball there, but it looks like it will be Suspect unless something drastic happens here. And again, you are going to want to stick around for the post-race reactions, because I know there's going to be a lot to talk about here this evening. But Suspect, after coming out of a caution that really was unfortunate, it looks like he's going to come around and he is going to take the win here at Las Vegas, as now Flash Chance coming out of 4th gets a little bit sent up into the wall and gets flipped, and he's going to come around. It looks like he's going to be able to hang on to a top 10 finish, as now it looks like everybody is just wrecking behind him now. So Suspect comes home with the victory, LRS 2nd, and if I am seeing that right, it looks as though, is that HD in 3rd? Wow. Crazy. Crazy ending. Definitely not the top 3 that I would have expected there at all. But Suspect currently sitting 3 for 3 on the season. We know that he's not going to be too ecstatic when we get to talk to him here in just a couple moments time. But again, Suspect comes home here winner, LRS 2nd, and I do believe it was HD 3rd. So we're going to take a quick break, get these drivers in, have a quick conversation with a few of them, and try to break down this last race of the weekend here from Las Vegas. and welcome into the UTLR Live Now post-race show presented by the Xbox One esports racing community here. Again, a very interesting end to a weekend out here in Sin City with Suspect Camo coming back out on top. And in second place, we've got LRS, and a little bit of a surprise to, I think, a lot of people with who finished in third place. And Alex, we're going to hand it over to you to go talk with our third place finisher.
Man, I don't know. Words really, I can't describe how I'm feeling right now. I mean, honestly, I saw my chance with about 2 to go in 1 and 2, and I stuck it perfectly. I said, okay. I stuck it perfectly. I can do this, and I am going to do this. I tried to keep it as clean as possible. I mean, I didn't expect this at all. I'm just going to be for and honest. I did not expect a third place coming into the night. I expected hopefully a respectable top 10, but I will gladly take a top. Will gladly take a top 3, man. Feeling great. Congrats to the 2 guys that finished ahead of me, and to all the guys that raced me good tonight. To all the guys that I had good battles with. Obviously, glory goes to the good Lord Himself and all that good stuff. So, feeling good, yeah. I'm trying not to laugh because like my heart was. I was going about 200 BPM the last couple laps. I was shaking coming off of 4. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I wish we did too. Oh, that would have been great. It would have broke. It would have. Thank you. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, no, definitely a heck of a run by you, as I'm actually going to be sitting here with the driver of the number 1 machine. Had a little bit of an up and down night here for the 1 car with LRS, and well, it almost feels wrong saying that we've got another second place finish here for you, as I know you like to say that you come home in Mr. Second Place here, but I mean, how do you describe how your car was tonight, and what did you see out there on the track? Did you have anything there at the end?
Obviously not too happy with the second place finish. I'm getting really tired of finishing in second place. It's getting old, but the car was really good. Every time I got up there, I got wrecked by the same people multiple times over and over and over. I'm not going to say names because I'm not petty, but they know who they are. And the finish of that race went exactly how I predicted it. I have it out in writing. Suspect was going to be deep in the pack and come out of nowhere and win by 2 seconds. Congratulations to him. Obviously, definitely deserved it. But yeah, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of finishing in second place. Yeah.
Obviously, that is completely understandable, but I know that you were having to kind of fight your car there towards the start, as I know, as far as seeing you try to come up through the field, and obviously a heck of a run for you and your teammate there, SP. I know that we saw you guys kind of fighting up through the field multiple times there. What kind of changes did you have to make to your car as far as the first stage compared to the third stage? Because it definitely felt like your car ran a little bit better there as the race went on.
Yeah, in the first stage, I ran a really loose setup. That's why I fell back really fast. And then when the first caution came out, I got my whole setup in. I made the car a little tighter, messed with the air and the tires, and it was perfect. Ever since that first pit stop, I didn't touch a single thing on it. But yeah, like I said, just kept getting used up. I could have been up there all race. I got decent stage points. I probably could have been even closer to Suspect if it wasn't for some of the bonehead moves that people were making. But yeah, just I'm obviously not happy with second place. It's good points, but you know how it is.
I do understand how it is, bud. So, but hey, still another top 3. I know that you're still looking for that win. We definitely think that it'll be coming here soon for you. But still, heck of a race. Congratulations on still bringing it home in second place tonight.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. Congratulations to you also, HC, for being on the podium.
Yep, of course. And
Thank
Alex,
you so much.
yep, and Alex, I think we're gonna go ahead and throw it to you over there in victory lane. I know that we normally switch it up, but we're gonna let you have fun tonight.
Uh, it feels great, but this third one isn't as great as I thought it would be. I definitely caused some problems trying to get back up to the field after that mistake I had on pit road. Then got caught with somebody sending it on a Kyle Busch restart. Then I'm pretty sure I got into a bunch of people before that last caution. Especially, I'm really sorry to Eddie on that last caution, I believe it was, or I think the last one. When I got up to him, I thought I was gonna side draft him, but he got down sideways as I was going up. We collected. And he wound up finishing last on the lead lap. I hated that for him, but now I'm gonna expect something later in the season from him. So it's 100% warranted.
Yeah, I mean, you had a great run. You didn't have. I mean, obviously, it showed that you were beatable. You didn't have the best car like early on. There was drivers that were able to get around you, had the runs, and you were having to do battle with the car. It looks like that you struggled with the loose car later on, and then you had the extra pit stop, and that hurt you tremendously. Even though you were able to work your way back to the field, but how do you think going into that last caution, if that had not have happened, do you truly think that you would have had something for Deport? I know you were picking off one by one, and you had plenty of time, but I feel like the way your car was handling, you may not have had enough time, but maybe you did. How do you think that came about?
Yeah. From what you said on the beginning of the race, fighting with it, I've always run a tight car. I'm always a long run guy, so those guys with the shorter runs were able to get by me quick. Definitely had trouble getting off the wall to start, but I got it down later on. And of course, that last run, yeah, before that last pit stop, with that damage, it was hurting bad. I was gonna have to pit early, so that caution came out at the perfect time. I was maybe gonna get a top 5 out of that if it went green the whole way, but I'm really glad that caution came out and I was able to fight back through the field. They did not make it easy. I wanted to punt some people, but I realized that's definitely not going to earn some favors, as I have now going to experience later with Eddie.
Yeah, I think you might have one coming back towards you. I don't know. We weren't able to see what exactly transferred on track there, but you might have one coming back at you. Story will be told next week in Texas, where things are bigger there. So, or I should say, sorry, you are going to Phoenix. So a little bit of a short track, actually. So, yeah, we may see something, we may not. If not, it's going to be a great race no matter what over the desert. How do you feel going into Vegas? I cannot get tracks right. Phoenix next week.
Based off of what I saw here, I think it's going to be about how Vegas was. Going to struggle early and going to have to fight through the field and try to keep track position. I'm okay at Phoenix. I like it sometimes. I hate it sometimes. So it hopefully be a toss up on the good side for me there.
Well, we shall see if you can make a four-peat here in the Xfinity Series. You are the guy to beat right now, but it does show that you are definitely beatable out there with you having a few hiccups, and that's all it can take. So we'll see you in Phoenix, and hopefully something will transpire out of everything, and you can become a 4-time winner. If not, hopefully you can get home a top 3 finish over there.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. And Ian, I'm going to throw it back to you for closing remarks.
A crazy scene here to end the official race week/weekend here at Sin City, with both the Cup and Xfinity drivers headed down to the Lone Star State to take on the next mile-and-a-half track that is Texas Motor Speedway. But again, or correction, Phoenix, I forgot that they're on their West Coast swing. I heard Texas, and wow, doing the driver slash commentator thing, it can be a little bit suspect at times, no pun intended there. But they're getting ready to head over to the desert and continue to work on their West Coast swing. The Cup Series is going to head back over to the Lone Star State. Trucks are going to be off for a week, but definitely another exciting end here at Vegas, almost similar to what we saw at the end of the Cup Series. Obviously not what I think anybody wanted or anticipated, but unfortunately, sometimes that's the way the rubber rolls, and we've got a first three-time winner here in Xfinity.
Drivers are definitely going to have a work cut out for them, and it's going to be interesting. Once again, like I said, the trucks are off, and Texas is going to be a unique track for those Cup guys. First time to tackle them in these next-gen cars, so we'll see how it transpires down there. Coming off turn 4, that's been the tricky spot over in Texas. And Phoenix and Xfinity tends to be a fun track, honestly. So I think we'll see very interesting strategies play out, and a lot of passing. As y'all know, the dogleg right there can be very exciting. Go about 6 wide, 7 wide, maybe even 10 wide. It's possible. You probably won't see that here in this series. Maybe 3 wide if you're lucky, 4 wide maybe. But it's going to be a great show. Be able to check in next week with Under the Lights Racing right here on UTR Live on Twitch. You can find us next week with INF in the booth on the Cup Series, and then you'll see myself and Ian right here, same time, 9 o'clock on both nights, and 9 o'clock right here on Thursday night for the Xfinity Series. Once again, shout out to our league sponsor, Xbox One Racing Community. Was the only reason why tonight could happen. Thank you, Mari and slash Rock, for everything that you do in the community and here at UTLR.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off for the evening. So once again, for our Xbox One esports racing community, for all of our drivers here in Under the Lights Racing and the Xfinity Series, for UTLR Storm, this is Some Wild Guy wrapping it up here from Sin City. We will see you guys next week from the desert in Phoenix. Until then, be safe, and we'll see you guys soon. Good night.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up. like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know